I'm Azaria Tagaya and you're watching Nightline, news making the headlines. Allah Socks case, KK Mart supplier fined 60,000 ringgit each. And Prime Minister to meet Tio Beng Hock's family in due course. We begin the bulletin with this story. The employee of a rental car company in Tanjung Maling, Perak, who was reported missing after delivering a rental car to a customer last Wednesday, was found dead in Felda Gedangsa, Hulu Selangor on Monday. The 25-year-old woman's body was found at about 6 p.m, believed to have been killed by someone known to her. In a statement on Monday night, Selangor Police Chief Datuk Hussein Omar Khan said the body found in the oil palm plantation in Kampung Sri Kledang in Hulu Selangor was of the missing person. According to him, an arrest has also been made and the case is being investigated under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder. He stated the suspect is a 26-year-old civil servant, adding that police will produce the suspect at the Kuala Kubu Baru Magistrates Court on Tuesday morning to obtain a remand order to facilitate probe. Mualim District Police Chief Superintendent Muhammad Hasni Nasir recently said that the woman known as Nur Farah Kartini Abdullah from Sarawak had been reported missing by her housemate at 1:56 a.m. last Thursday. The woman was a former student at Universiti Pendidikan Sultan Idris UPSI. The Sungai Buloh Hospital is conducting an autopsy on the woman's remains on Monday night. The Shah Alam Sessions Court fined KK Mart and one of its suppliers, Xinjiang Chang Sendirian Berhad, 60,000 ringgit each over the socks bearing the word Allah case. This after both companies pled guilty to amended charges for causing religious offence. In the same case, KK Supermart and Superstore Sendirian Berhad founder and executive chairman Datuk Sri Chai Ki Khan and his wife Datin Sri Loh Siu Mui walked free from criminal charges. The court had granted a discharge amounting to an acquittal or DAA to Chai, Loh and 3 company directors. The proceedings were conducted before Judge Muhammad Anas Mahazir. On March 26, Chai and Loh, as directors of KK Mart, claimed trial on the charge of intentionally hurting the religious feelings of others. The charge, framed under the Penal Code, specifies imprisonment up to a year, a fine or both. Before the same Sessions Court, Xinjiang Chang directors So Chin Huat, Goh Li Hui and So Hui San faced a charge of conspiring to intentionally wound the religious sensitivities of Muslims. So, 61 and Goh, 62, and their 36-year-old daughter Hui San claimed trial for committing the offence. The trio were charged under the Penal Code, which provides for a prison sentence not exceeding a year, a fine or both. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim said he will meet the family of the late Tio Beng Hock in due course to review the memorandum demanding justice over his death. In a social media post on Monday, Anwar said he was aware of the incident that occurred outside Parliament involving Tio's family, stating that he will meet with them soon. In Monday's incident, a brief commotion occurred after Tio's family attempted to hand over a memorandum to Parliament but were intercepted by the police. However, the police eventually allowed the memorandum to be handed over. On July 16, 2009, Tio was detained overnight for questioning that took place on the 14th floor of the Malaysian Anticorruption Commission MACC office in Shah Alam. He was later found dead on the 5th floor rooftop of the building. In July 2011, a Royal Commission of Inquiry (RCI) found that his death was due to suicide due to the MACC probe. On another matter, the Prime Minister said the proposed amendment to the Syariah Courts Criminal Jurisdiction Act 1965 or Act 355 should not be done hastily. Anwar said that the proposed amendments should be scrutinised by relevant parties, including muftis and international experts.
Setakat ini saya tidak dapat melihat sama ada dari bantahan atau masalah sama ada dari Ketua Hakim Negara yang telah merestui usaha-usaha ini dan juga Malih Raja-Raja yang telah diberikan taklimat awal yang memberikan perkenan, cuma minta supaya diteliti supaya jangan dilihat gopoh.
Anwar said this during his speech at the convention to uphold Malaysia's Sharia judiciary and legislation in Putrajaya on Monday. He added that the proposal has been presented to the chair of the National Council of Islamic Religious Affairs, Sultan Nazrin Shah of Perak. During the same event, Anwar also expressed his commitment to expediting the proposed implementation of the Sharia Judges Remuneration Act to elevate the status of Syariah Court judges to be on par with that of civil court judges. The Legal Affairs Division is ready to propose amendments to the AntiParty Hopping Act in order to address any loopholes in the law. According to Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Law and Institutional Reform, Datuk Sri Azalina Uthman Said, the division is ready to propose amendments to the Act as stated by the Prime Minister on Friday.
Itu kena bawa ke kabinet lah kot. Kalau nak buat pindaan, nak apa? Tapi pada saya sebagai menteri jaga undang-undang tak ada masalah. Nak buat pindaan, memang kerja saya datang parlimen buat pindaan undang-undang, selalu buat undang-undang baru. Kalau Yang Berhormat mengarahkan saya dalam mesyuarat kabinet untuk membawa nota di segi dasar baru pun tak ada masalah.
Azalina said this to reporters when met at the Parliament building on Monday. She added that any amendments to the Act requires thorough bipartisan discussion and agreement. The Prime Minister on Friday reportedly said that the government is open to holding discussions to fix any loopholes. This follows the recent dispute over the Act, following a decision made by Dewan Rakyat Speaker Tan Sri Johari Abdul to retain the seats of 6 members of Parliament who had lost their memberships in Bersatu. Kuala Lumpur City Hall, DBKL, requires at least 20,000 CCTV cameras installed throughout the federal capital to monitor crime and traffic congestion. According to Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, at present there are only 5,000 units around the city. Zahid said the installation cannot be undertaken solely by DBKL but requires the cooperation of various ministries, departments and agencies, especially the Royal Malaysia Police.
Tetapi jawatankuasa mencadangkan agar kementerian, jabatan dan agensi lain terlibatkan, terutamanya PDRM, iaitu bahagian jenayah, siasatan jenayah.
Speaking to the media after chairing the Cabinet Committee on Road Safety and Traffic Congestion meeting on Monday, Zahid said that DBKL is responsible for seeking funding for installation, monitoring and surveillance. He added that the initiative was also seen as a step towards modern policing to reduce the omnipresence of uniformed officers in the city. Diving deep into the business world
with expert insights and in-depth analysis.
The latest trends and developments shaping the country, region and the globe.
Key insights into finance.
On Money Matters.
Every Saturday at 5 p.m.
on TV3 and stream on Tonton. The Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, is investigating a complaint about a comment on TikTok that involved elements of race, royalty and religion, the 3 Rs. In a statement on Monday, the MCMC said a 29-year-old civil servant from Sungai Petani was questioned at the Kuala Muda Police Headquarters on Thursday. It said it found the TikTok account under investigation on the man's phone, adding that all relevant items related to the case were seized for further investigation. The MCMC stated that it is investigating the case for misuse of network facilities under the Communications and Multimedia Act, which stipulates a maximum fine of 50,000 ringgit or imprisonment of up to 1 year or both upon conviction. The MCMC reminded civil servants not to use social media to disseminate messages that violate national laws, as outlined in the guidelines regarding the prohibition of public statements by government officials. A controversial former policewoman is among 3 individuals who will be questioned by police in relation to the cyberbullying case of a social media influencer who had taken her own life. So far, a total of 11 witnesses have recorded statements to assist in the case. Central Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Ahmad Sukarno Muhammad Zahari said 3 individuals have been identified and police are in the midst of making arrangements to record statements from the individuals. When asked, Ahmad Sukarno confirmed that one of those who is sought for questioning is a controversial policewoman who is currently suspended. The victim's mother, 56-year-old Puspa Raja Gopal, had previously filed reports against several people, stating that they had been confusing the public by discussing the case on social media and were talking badly about her daughter. The influencer A. Rajaswari, better known as Aisha, had fallen victim to harassment by a group of people well known for their alleged thuggery on TikTok. It has been alleged that the group, comprising men and women, had carried out their bullying antics both online and offline. Aisha was found dead in her apartment on July 5th, a day after lodging a police report over threats made against her. Police have completed the process of questioning a farmer to assist in the investigation of a teenage boy who was hospitalized after eating biscuits believed to have been laced with poison at the man's orchard in Chukai Terengganu last Friday. Kemaman Police Chief Superintendent Hanyan Ramlan said the farmer in his 70s had appeared to give his statement at the Kemaman Police Headquarters at 2 p.m. on Monday.
Kita punya sampel bahan makanan yang telah dikuatiri dicemari racun ini telah dihantar ke Jabatan Kimia untuk kajian.
He added that a chemical analysis would be able to pinpoint the type of poison used. In the incident at about 2 p.m. on Friday, the teenager who lives in Kampung Air Putih had left his home to go fishing before coming across the tainted biscuits and eventually consuming them. The snacks, which were hung on a garden fence, were said to be intended to ward off monkeys. Following that, the 13-year-old was said to have collapsed and was found lying on the ground by his friend's father. He was taken to the Air Putih Health Clinic before being referred to Kemaman Hospital for emergency treatment. The teenager is currently reported to be in stable condition. Pakistani government to ban Imran Khans party. News from the Foreign Front when we return.
Saya yang akan bantu mengeluarkan saka itu.
Setiap pendamping yang diambil ada perjanjiannya.
Kalau sangat sembang, formula sana, formula sini, semua orang boleh.
Berus gigi pun kau bawa. Aku bukan nak uji DNA dia.
Harapan saya ni kalau boleh langsui, Pontianak semua kembalilah ke bagai jalan.
Naila.
Apa? Awak tak payah ikut saya boleh tak? Saya tak nak malukan awak. Lagipun video saya dah viral kan?
Video tu dah tak ada lah Naila, dah kena buang.
Fat kena jauhkan Noh dengan Naila tu. Sebab Naila tu dia ada agenda dia sendiri.
Saya ni nak bagi sikit peringatan pada awak.
Peringatan apa tu, Puan?
Jangan ganggu Noh.
Noh dan Naila, Isnin hingga Jumaat 7 malam di Akasia TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Korang tengah cari idea nak buat konten Get Ready With Me ke tu? Tahu nak buat konten POV tengok award show? Semua tu korang boleh buat je di TikTok Awards. Dapatkan tiket untuk tengok TikTok Awards secara live di www.tonton.com.my sekarang. Beli cepat tau kalau tak nak FOMO guys. Dan of course, dapat jumpa TikTok creator favourite korang nanti. TikTok Awards, realisasikan impianmu.
On to the foreign news. The Pakistani government has said it plans to ban Pakistan's Tehreek-e-Insaf PTI, the party of jailed former Prime Minister Imran Khan. The announcement by Information Minister Ataullah Tarar on Monday came days after the Supreme Court handed a major legal victory to the PTI by declaring it eligible for a share of seats reserved in national and provincial assemblies. Tarar said the decision was based on a number of factors, including the proven charge that Khan's PTI had received foreign funds from sources that are illegal in Pakistan, as well as rioting by the party's leadership and supporters last year that targeted military installations. He added that the government will also file a legal reference against Imran and former President Arif Talvi for treason charges under the country's constitution before the Supreme Court. Last week, the Supreme Court recognized the PTI as a political party and affirmed that not having an election symbol does not affect its legal rights to field candidates. Nepal's Khadga Prasad Sharma Oli was sworn in as Prime Minister on Monday after his Communist Party forged a coalition government with the centre-left Nepali Congress, marking his fourth term in office. The 72-year-old was named Prime Minister on Sunday following the collapse of a previous coalition government. The veteran Communist politician will lead a coalition government made up of his Communist Party of Nepal and the Nepali Congress Party, the two largest parties in Nepal. 2 deputy prime ministers and 19 ministers appointed by Oli Oli also took the oath of office on Monday. Oli is expected to further expand the cabinet, including members from coalition partner parties. The previous government, headed by Pushpa Kamal Dahal, collapsed on Friday after Oli's party, which had been part of the coalition, withdrew its support to join the new partnership. France's left-wing parties still plan to form a joint government after they emerged as the strongest bloc in parliament in a snap election, but any pact is unlikely to come this week. The head of the Socialist Party, Olivier Faure, on Monday said that nothing will happen before July 18th, referring to the date the newly elected National Assembly is due to convene for the first time. His comments, coming after a week of fruitless talks within the bloc, marked a shift in tone. Following their surprise election win on July 7th, Faure and other leaders said they were prepared to form a government and would come up with a name for the Prime Minister's seat within days. However, no progress has been made since then. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, is continuing to scour over evidence in the attack on former United States President Donald Trump, which it is now investigating as quote-unquote domestic terrorism. The agency in a statement said the investigation so far indicates that the suspect, Thomas Matthew Crooks, aged 20, acted alone. However, they will continue to look into any possible co-conspirators. The agency also stated that they are working to determine the sequence of events, collecting and reviewing evidence, as well as following up on all leads. It was reported that law enforcement, which recovered the AR-style rifle the attacker allegedly used at the rally, has also found suspicious devices in his home and vehicle. Previously, Trump, speaking at a campaign rally in Pennsylvania on Saturday, was shot in the right ear by an attacker perched on a rooftop outside the venue in his first assassination attempt on a U.S. presidential figure in more than 4 decades. Israel's military on Monday struck the southern and central Gaza Strip to put more pressure on Hamas following a weekend strike targeting the group's leadership, which killed scores of Palestinians camped in a designated safe zone. A strike on a UN-run school in Nuseirat camp, one of Gaza's 8 long-standing refugee camps, killed at least 17 Palestinians and wounded more than 80 people. A Palestinian civil defense spokesman said the Abu Araiban school was housing thousands of displaced people, adding that most of the dead were women and children. The regime also stepped up aerial and tank shelling in central Gaza in the Al-Burej and Al-Maghazi historic refugee camps, killing 5 Palestinians. Meanwhile, medical officials said they recovered 10 bodies of Palestinians killed by Israeli fire in eastern areas of the city, some of which had already begun to decompose. According to Gaza's health ministry, 80 Palestinians were killed in the past 24 hours, bringing the total death toll to 38,664. SRG take home historic win. Sports when we come back.
Drama-drama yang pernah menjadi fenomena TV3 kini kembali di Samarinda.
Kalau kau sanggup bayar sebagai wang tebus.
Drama yang merangkul pelbagai anugerah, Nur akan bersiaran sekali lagi.
Kau dah kenapa ni? Cah tu sok bonjot tu.
Apa jut, Mak? Masuk sokan Cina, washu, Ustaz Adam. Washu, kena tangkap basah.
Nur, Isnin hingga Khamis 10 malam di Samarinda TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Menari MHI minggu ini.
Makan ulam? Tak. Rugi. Kita bawakan ke pelbagaian jenis ulam.
Benarkah masalah mental ni ada perkara mistik?
Penagihan dadah adalah penyakit perlu dirawat, bukan dipenjara.
Premium insurans perubatan semakin meningkat. Ketahui kaedah kopeh untuk mengatasinya.
Dan istimewa persediaan istiadat pertabalan yang di-Pertuan Agong.
MHI setiap hari Isnin hingga Jumaat juga stream meri tonton
hanya di TV3.
Kehilangan tak diduga.
Saya tak tahu sebenarnya yang dia pergi keluar tu cari siput. Bila masuk malam, adik saya beritahu saya dalam pukul 8.30 macam tu, abang saya ni tak balik lagi.
Misi menjejaki mangsa diteruskan.
Sedih tu ialah saya sebagai anak. Ayah kita yang selalu ada dengan kita ni dah hampir 2 minggu tak balik ke rumah.
Saksikan 999 Selasa jam 9 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
We are back with sports. The Selangor Red Giants, SRG, ended the country's 7-year drought in international e-sports by defeating the Philippines' Falcons AP Brentsport 4-3 in the 2024 Mid-Season Cup Mobile Legends Bang Bang MLBB on Sunday. In the grand final at the Amazon Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, SRG initially lost the first match with 23 kills to 16, but equalized in the second match for a 1-1 tie. AP Bren regained the lead with a 22 kills to 6 victory in the third match. However, SRG bounced back, winning the fourth and fifth matches with scores of 18 kills to 4 and 12 kills to 11 respectively. After AP Bren tied the series, SRG triumphed in the decisive match with a dominant 21 kills to 10 win, claiming their first MSC championship. The victory saw SRG taking home the trophy and a cash prize of $1 million. On to badminton, the 2024 Paris Olympics national top men's doubles pair, Aaron Chia, So Woo-yik, can breathe a sigh of relief as they managed to avoid from playing 4 extra matches at the upcoming event. In the delayed men's doubles draw held at the Badminton World Federation BWF headquarters on Monday, Aaron and Woo-yik were drawn in Group A against top seeds Yang Wei-keng, Wang Chang of China, Ben Lane, Sean Vendy of England, and Canadian pair Adam Dong and Neil Yakura. Wei-keng and Wang Chang are undoubtedly the biggest obstacles for the Malaysian pair, as they've only beaten the Chinese duo twice out of their previous 8 meetings. However, the pair will likely qualify for the quarterfinals as one of the top 2 teams in the group. This is due to their good record against Lane and Vendy, having won 4 out of their 5 encounters, and are likely to be favourites in their first encounter against the Canadians. For the record, Aaron and Woo-yik won bronze at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Moving on to football, the 2024 Copa America, Argentina won a record 16th title by beating Colombia 1-0 thanks to an extra-time goal from Lautaro Martinez on Monday. Colombia started the match by pressing high up the pitch and almost got the lead through John Cordoba, who hit the post in the 7th minute. The Los Cafeteros then went on the offensive again in the second half, with Arias and Davinson Sanchez coming close to scoring. Argentina, however, soaked up the pressure well and continued to grow in the contest, but Colombia held on as the match went to extra time. The defending champions continued to push forward in extra time, and Martinez, the tournament's leading scorer, finally broke the deadlock in the 112th minute, securing the 1-0 victory for Argentina. With the win, Argentina has won its 3rd straight major title following the 2021 Copa America and 2022 World Cup. Still on football, the 2024 Euro substitute Mikel Oyarzabal scored a dramatic late winner as Spain capped a dominant campaign with a deserved 2-1 win over England on Monday. After a cautious first half, the Spaniards struck 2 minutes after the restart through Nico Williams, despite losing influential midfielder Rodri to injury at the break. England came from behind, as they've done so often at the Euros, as substitute Cole Palmer drove in the equaliser at 73 minutes, moments after entering the fray. However, the Three Lions' resurgence in the game was cut short as Oyarzabal, the Real Sociedad forward, turned in a cross at the 86th minute to hand Spain a record 4th European Championship crown, following their victories in 1964, 2008 and 2012. For England, the loss means they're the first team to lose consecutive Euro finals, adding to their 30 years of hurt since their 1966 World Cup success. Coming up, father's guilty plea rejected, sending child neglect case to trial. Don't go away.
Saya buat apa kat sini?
Awak pengsan?
Awak tahu tak? Ada lelaki yang pernah angkat saya.
Nurin, saya...
Laki mana hantar balik tadi? Boleh tak cari kawan yang elok sikit? Ha? Buka kaki rewang macam ni?
Awak dengan Umi awak okey ke?
Serasa awak dengan dia tak serasa.
Mama awak tak berkenan dengan saya ke?
Pengantin pasti jadi. Khamis hingga Sabtu 9 malam. Terbaru di Lestari TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Satu dunia ingin tahu apakah sebenarnya berlaku.
Bukan siasatan jenayah terhadap Nahas yang berlaku 17 Julai lalu.
Rupa-rupanya buk tu jahat. Dia boleh naik sampai 40,000 kaki.
Ada 4 orang yang disyaki kes ni dan telah didakwa di mahkamah.
Selamat datang ke jamuan Syiram Suara.
Hidangan bermula.
Tu apa kah? Aku macam menyanyi. Suara saya pakai ini.
Takkanlah suara BIMBO ni.
Radio Pa. Ini confirm awet. No, abang sadok. Habis.
Tu suara.
Siapa?
Aku berlari.
Back with us on Nightline. The Malaysian Anticorruption Commission MACC has frozen almost 20 bank accounts holding over 740,000 ringgit belonging to an influencer couple and 2 other individuals. This comes as part of an investigation into the alleged misappropriation of public donation funds following their arrest last Wednesday. According to MACC sources, the frozen accounts belong to individuals and companies believed to be connected to funds received from the public through an online donation collection platform. Since the investigation began, the MACC, through its anti-money laundering AML division, has seized and frozen nearly 20 accounts belonging to individuals and companies to help with the ongoing investigation. There may be several more bank accounts that will also be seized and frozen by the MACC. MACC AML Division Director Datuk Muhammad Zamri Zainul Abidin confirmed the matter when contacted. He said the seizure and freezing of the accounts were carried out under the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act 2001. Last week, the MACC arrested 3 men and a woman aged between 20 and 30 for the alleged misappropriation of public donations. They were remanded for 4 days and the remand order expired on Sunday. The Johor Bahru Sessions Court has dismissed the guilty plea of a father who allegedly neglected his teenage son by leaving him to sleep on the sidewalk of their flat for 2 nights last week. Judge Datuk Cik Wan Zaidi Cik Wan Ibrahim stated that the guilty plea by the 56-year-old Roslan Abbas was conditional and therefore the case must go to trial. The court scheduled July 29th for case mention for the appointment of a lawyer and submission of documents. Roslan was granted bail of 3,000 ringgit with 1 shorty and ordered not to tamper with the witnesses. Earlier, after the charge and case facts were read by the court interpreter, Roslan, who works as a scrap collector, pleaded guilty but said he had given his son a key and that his son had refused to come inside on his own. The judge, however, rejected the plea and gave the accused a chance to prove his innocence by sending the matter to trial. According to the charge sheet, the father of 2 was accused of neglecting his 14-year-old son by leaving him to sleep on the sidewalk of their flat in Pasir Gudang from 10 p.m. on July 7th to 8 a.m. on July 9th. He was charged under Section 31, Subsection 1, Subsection A of the Child Act, which carries a fine of up to 50,000 ringgit or a maximum imprisonment of 20 years or both upon conviction. Previously, Seri Alam District Police Chief Superintendent Muhammad Suhaimi Ishaq reported that a married couple were arrested last Wednesday after several photos of their son allegedly being forced to sleep on the sidewalk of a flat were circulated on social media. In Johor, a man suspected of driving under the influence of alcohol is on remand for 4 days from Monday for allegedly crashing into a traffic policeman on duty at kilometre 3.6 Jalan Pantai, heading towards Permas Jaya in Johor Bahru on Sunday. The remand order against the suspect in his 30s was issued by Magistrate Nur Fatin Muhammad Farid to facilitate investigation under the Road Transport Act. On Sunday, it was reported that a traffic policeman was seriously injured after being hit by a drunk driver while controlling traffic at kilometre 3.6 of Jalan Pantai towards Permas Jaya. In the 7 a.m. crash, the victim broke his left hip bone, sustained injuries to his face and chin, in addition to wounds on the hands. As Nightline draws to a close this time around, we leave you with visuals of traditional fireworks in France that lit up the sky around the Eiffel Tower, marking Bastille Day, the National Day of France. This edition also shows marked by a 2024 Paris Olympic Games, which will kick off on July 26th. With that, I'm Azaria Tagaya. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.